audio. In 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 audio.
Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV, and we are here for Straightjacket podcast 216, brought to you, sponsored by Boohoo Man. I'm wearing Boohoo Man now. Make sure, guys, to check out Boohoo Man. Use the QR code that's right next to Aaron. Use that code. All you got to do is scan the QR code using your phone or any device that you have on there, or you can go and get 40% off by using the link in the description. The code is Saeed. Use the code Saeed to go and get 40% off. Big up to Boohoo Man for sponsoring the video. Big up to everybody who's tuning in right now. I want to start off by saying, obviously, today was the anniversary, 65 years since the Munich air disaster. So, you know what I mean? Still, our thoughts are with the families that have lost their lives in that tragic, of what happened. Obviously, you know, I mean, any jokes or anything like that, you know, anyone's getting blocked. So please be respectful in the chat. And yeah, man. Also, I want to say to the people in Turkey and Syria, thoughts are with you as well, because there's been an earthquake over there. So thoughts are with the people of Turkey and Syria. So anyone that, you know, is suffering out there and has got family out there, prayers with you and all your loved ones. You know what I mean? It's a very, very sad story there. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching. And yeah, let's get in straight into it. Aaron, you're in the building. Aaron, what are you telling me, man? It feels like yesterday when I was speaking to you, man, about, you know, the size of bits. So, you know what I mean? How are you feeling, bro? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. You know, I woke up this morning, saw the sunshine, and I thought, what could this mean? You know what I mean? This is a beautiful day. What could this mean? And then, bang, around 11 o'clock or just before 11 o'clock, we get hit with the news. Yeah, that, you know, the noisy neighbors are in a bit of trouble. You know what I mean? So listen, it's a beautiful day, man. I've enjoyed a lot of today. The timeline today, bro. Apparently, we won 3 more Premier League titles. I've seen people make Pogba comes and say Pogba won us the Premier League and
Bro,
17
heritage.
heritage.
Mourinho heritage.
Mourinho, even Ollie won the Premier League, man. Congratulations to Ollie.
No
You
more
won a
freestyle. No more freestyle. He won it. He won it by freestyle, eh?
No, but it's been a good day, man. It's been a brilliant day. And I just want to say as well, prayers out to all the people in Turkey. Prayers out to all the people in Syria. And obviously we're football fans, and I saw the post going around that, Christian Atsu, who we all know, ex Newcastle and ex Chelsea, has still not been found. I saw a video of his manager. For those who are old enough to remember, Volkan Demirel, the Turkish goalkeeper, who's his manager. He was, devastated and crying on Instagram Live. Obviously, trying to find help, to find anyone out there. And yeah, man, it's a tragic event. So never nice to hear that kind of news, but I hope they can find as many people as possible alive as well, if possible, obviously alive. So yeah, man, prayers out to all the people in Turkey and Syria.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nuradin, everything all good? How are you, mate?
All right, good. Was at the commemoration earlier.
Yeah.
Every year, I always go every year, so it's good turnout. RIP the Busby Babes, and the reason why Manchester United where they are, the legacy, the history, how from Manchester, how a visionary like Matt Busby was looking outwards, wasn't satisfied just beating up teams in England, but wanted to do it in Europe. And then tragedy, obviously 28 people that lost their lives, and our thoughts are with them today and every day. As the song goes in it, we never die. We never die. We keep the red flags flying high, man. We're Man United and we never die. My thoughts also go out to, it's like, it's like being kicked in the teeth, innit? Like, kick them when they're down. War ravaged, torn, Syria, earthquake happens. And I love Turkey. I always talk about Turkey with you, Saeed. I love that country. I love the Turkish people, man. I got nothing but love for them. It's one of those countries where when I go to passport control, they look at my name and then they start smiling and everybody shows me love. Nothing but love just because of my name. So my thoughts are with all the victims and all, and with the families of all the victims in Syria, both, and in Turkey, and everybody else that's affected by the devastating earthquakes. Because people think that it's only Turkish people who live in this country. Turkey is such a multicultural country. People from all over the world are over there because they have such a beautiful country. So thoughts are with them. Thoughts are with all the victims of this earthquake. And yeah, thoughts go out to Etsu's family and friends. And let's hope that apparently he's under the rubble somewhere. Like thousands and thousands of people are. Last time I counted the death toll, it was about nearly 20,000 people, and there's so many more. They reckon there's about 30,000 people maybe still be trapped. Some of them might be alive. So thoughts go out to all of them. So it's been a somber day. And other than that, I've always told you. So again, with the news that Aaron's talking about, vindicated again, mate. I told everybody, but nobody wanted to listen.
Before you go, Nuradin, I want to let's give a backstory to it before we get our opinions, which is it's kind of a crazy story because it kind of hit us early morning. But Man City have been hit with numerous charges of breaching financial rules following a 4-year investigation. This is unprecedented, and this goes back to early as Mancini's first season. When they got us that league title, that Aguero run, mate. You know what I mean? As far as back then. And it carries on to say ranges of possible sanctions include point deduction if breaches are proved. They've been hit with 100 charges by the Premier League. Possible sanctions, if proven, include points deduction or even expulsion from the Premier League. This is serious, serious stuff. But Nuradin, man, it's mad, innit? It's mad, man. It might be back to Yeovil Town and Oldham Athletic for Man City soon, mate. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, well, you know what? 20,000 empty seats. Are you effing sure? The city is yours. The city is yours. 20,000 empty seats. Are you effing sure? So let me just give me 5 minutes, bro. Let me just break this down for people, yeah?
Go on.
Because you know what? You know I'm passionate about this, right? You
Yeah.
know I've been saying this, talking to you, and you're always like, then stop it. We're not as good as them. Stop giving banter to City fans. The banter is stopped, mate. It's all about what I'm speaking now. It's my humble opinion on what's out there. So the story starts. Where did this begin? So basically, what you have to understand, every football club, the financial fair play rules were set up. Now, financial fair play, according to some people, they're quite complex. But for me, they're not that complex, really. It's all about the revenue you make, the amount of thing that you spend, and how much money you're writing off. So basically, how much you cook in your books. Now, this is what's known as white-collar crime. In American language term, white-collar crime. City are not going to be the first. There's so many companies and organizations, institutions that cook the books to make themselves financially more viable than others, right? Now, the financial fair play rules came in. The rules were basically, you can't overspend, right, on players what you don't have. Money you got coming in, revenue, and also like breaking the rules in terms of what you saying your losses are, right? So I'm sure I spoke to you. I don't know what it was. I'm sure it was like a couple of months ago. I was saying to you about. I was on here talking to you about how much City are making more money. I was laughing at that.
Yeah.
The City
Because they're basically apparently the most revenue. They've made the most revenue in their football club. Like,
and I'm like, who? Listen, majority. If you're from Manchester, it's simple. Majority of City fans are from Stockport. They're not even from Manchester. Outskirts of Manchester, place called Stockport. If you know, you know, right?
Cheshire.
Yeah, they carry big dirty tashes, and there's only 2 or 3 of them, and a blind dog. I keep saying, I've been saying it. I've been saying it till the cows come home. I've been telling it, right? So this idea, Saeed, that Man City make more revenue than Barca, Manchester United, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. And actually, the link goes on to what we went to commemorate today, the commemorations. The reason why Manchester United have this global, almost 1.5 billion or, fans around the world globally, Saeed, is because the story. People fall in love with a story. The story that is, we have the most incredibly young, talented team this country ever saw, the Busby Babes, right? The Busby Babes and Sir Matt Busby, a visionary, was like, listen, we want to go and play in Europe. We want to play against the best. We want to go and win that. The FA and England at that time, people are like, oh, we don't want to. Why do you want to play in these competitions? England have got the best competitions. So Matt Busby was insisting, we want to put ourselves against the best. So I'm linking this to what's going on at City because people are saying, well, how come Man United can spend that money? And I want to tell the story bit by bit, City. So let me give me these 3 minutes. Right.
Can I just read the super chat then before you go? Matt Ross says, big up Matt Ross said, if guilty, the Premier League will be forced to make an example. Otherwise, the FA in the mud. Selling to first teams won't happen in one window. Here we go, Mares versus Stockport County. But yeah, go on. Big up to Matt, by the way, for the super chat.
Big up, Matt. So basically, to understand the story of the two teams in the city, Munich happened, Saeed. The FA tell the United people, tell them, oh, you got to be back in the country 2 days before your league game. That's why the plane takes off 3 times. That's why the Munich desert happens. This is after the Second World War, Saeed, right? After the Second World War, the world was in a war, 1958, right? The world is recovering from the
war,
from the Second World War. And so sport, nations playing against each other, all this cooperation, these are going on. Back in the day, it was only radio and newspapers. So the story goes around the world, the tragedy of 28 people, if I'm not mistaken, 28 people died in total in the plane in that crash, right? So, and many others survived. So Bobby Charlton, Matt Busby, some others survived. So that happened. That went around the world, Saeed. So the name of Man United went global. First, because they had this incredibly talented team, and everybody was all European football, world football. You got people like Santos and Pele and them talking about the Busby Babes. We're hearing about this young team from a city called Manchester United. We're hearing about them. Brazilians were like, come to Brazil. We want you to play against Santos and the Pele team and that. Let's see how good you are. So this is the team. Manchester United then, Saeed, becomes this global, in the minds of global world where they're just recovering from war. That seed is planted in people's names. The tragedy happens. Within 10 years later, Manchester United rise from the ashes to go and win the first European Cup in this country, the Champions League, the big boys of big boy competitions. First English team to go and win it. They weren't the first British, Celtic were. First English team to go and do it, right? Just like we've done the treble, only we've done the treble. Nobody else has done the treble. So United did that within 10 years. That's why I say Man United are the most romantic football club in the world. Why? Rose from the ashes to go and get that glory. And then City don't have that history. So how the hell are they making 700 million a year? How? Explain to me. The maths don't work. The maths don't work, mate. That's the reason why I have to bring it to that. And people are now saying, oh, well, that means that it's only the old boys club. Listen, we don't. People fall in love with our football club, our history, our legacy, our beautiful football. That's not our fault. That's not our fault. We're called Man United. We're global. They're called Man City. Hold tight, Stockport. This is who they are. So don't get me started with, oh, that means that nobody can challenge the big boys. Listen, we've built that success because we have history, legacy, and then Fergie comes into the picture and we fly. We take off. We take off. So don't hate us. Don't blame it on us that we're where we are. And the reason why to compete against us and to compete with us, what Chelsea and they were doing, it's called blood doping, blood financial doping, mate. You're not making it sense to me. Now, this is where I get to, right? The Premier League are doing this, Saeed. Where did this all start? This all started with a Portuguese, I forgot the guy's name, Portuguese fella, who was a hacker. He was hacking everybody. He hacked Real Madrid. He hacked so many. So basically what he did, this guy, Portuguese guy, young guy into football, he started hacking all these football clubs. He told us about how much Gareth Bale, Aaron remember, Gareth Bale's, how much he's getting paid. He told us all sorts of things. Then he came across documents, internal documents and emails from Man City. Now, I've explained to you, and I'll say it again. Majority of these rules, the Premier League and the FA expect all the clubs to act in good faith, right? Good
of course.
Faith. To act in good
yeah,
faith.
but you're not going to get that. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so operate in financial responsibility. To operate that and not overcook the books, not blood dope, mate. And City did that. Arsene Wenger said it. I was screaming it before Arsene Wenger, mate.
Arsene said it 10 years ago.
Yeah, when they bought Robinho and they were buying all these other Brazilians, I'm like, with what money are they making? So the point is this, people. It's simple. Man City, obfuscate, right? So then I'll go back to it. Spiegel, then, that Spiegel is a well-known, respected newspaper, media organization that's known in football. It's one of the most respected in Germany, like proper serious journalism. They did an investigation on these documents that this kid hacked. They were like, what blood murder she wrote? What are City doing? City are doing them, Saeed. They're not even trying to hide it. They're so blatant. So let me give you an example. Man City, right, if according to these documents, were telling, they'll ring a company up in Dubai or in Saudi Arabia or even in Qatar. Hey, would you want to sponsor us? How much sponsor us by 40 million? Okay, we'll sponsor you. Oh, by the way, that 40 million, we'll wire it to you now. And then what they did, why people are go, what UEFA did, Saeed, I got to break it down. I've been reading about this for yonkies and years, mate. And now I feel vindicated, and that's why I'm passionate about this. So what happened was this, but UEFA financial fair play rules, you know how they work, Saeed? It's time limited. Time limited. So you two got caught. You two got some financial, Aaron Saeed doing some financial transfers or whatever. If you if you and Aaron obfuscate and then hold the paper back, don't cooperate with the investigators, you're waiting for the time to go. So in 5 years, boom, they couldn't get them. So what happened? UEFA just found them 10 million, right? And City like, we're not guilty. We're not. That's why they'll be able to get away. Now, Saeed, the reason why this is happening, because the financial regulator is being threatened. So hold tight, Gary Neville. Hold tight, Gary Neville. Gary Neville is a red. He's a red. He hates the Scousers and he hates City. That's what Gary Neville is. So he's been campaigning since the Super League.
Oh, regulators. Yeah, he has been campaigning for that. Yeah, yeah.
Regulator. And now, what the Premier League are trying to do, Saeed, they try to get ahead of the game and say, we don't need a financial regulator because you know what? We can regulate ourselves. Look what we're doing. So City, from day dot, Saeed, don't not Big Steve, no other City fan from spot to Stockport with a big tash. Tell me anything. They've been cooking the books. They've been cooking and putting the sauce on it, bringing Bernardo, bringing Mahrez, bringing this, and blagging the world. They've got a fan base. Their fan base can't even fill the bloody stadium. And I'm like, where are all these global companies? Where's Etihad Airlines sponsoring Man City from? Because you know why? The Wire told me, you know, The Wire, greatest television series in the history of television. You know what the biggest lesson he taught me? Follow the money. Follow the money. And the money. And now, Saeed, we're going to see now if the Premier League is serious.
Have any backbone? If they have any backbone, yeah.
100 charges, how many are going to make them stick? And now City will say, oh, you know what? Those documents were stolen. They're not. You know what? This investigation, 4-year investigation, guess what City have been doing? Obfuscating a game. Not complying with Premier League and the lawyers to say the paperwork. All the paperwork, Saeed, they burnt it on bonfire night. All those emails are being burnt. So City, if you're not guilty, why are you burning records? Why are you burning all the papers, all the emails, all the exchanges? And why
haven't been transparent?
And why are you not in good faith coming out and saying, hey, Premier League, come in, have a look at our financial rules. Nothing to
know what's mad?
We're not guilty, but they've not done that. Yeah. They're doing the opposite. Now I'm going to mute people and let Saeed and Aaron take it from there because I'm going to mute.
Yeah.
I broke it down for you, and nobody's going to break it down for you like I have, people. Trust me. Yeah. I was reading this from day dot. I've been on this from day dot. Vindicated again.
you know what's funny as well, yeah? When that came out, that immediately took me back to the interview that Pep did in May 2022, so last year. And I've got the quotes right here in front of me. And he said, I quote, and this was when they were accused the first time back in 2020, and then they went to court with all these 56 lawyers. Remember when they all walked down the street or whatever that was, and you had the 12 CEO,
lawyers. Yeah,
they had the CEO walking in front and all the lawyers behind. Pep said at the time, when they are accused of something, I asked them, tell me about that. They explain, I believe them. I said to them, if you lied to me the day after I'm not here, so if you lied to him if you lied to him, he's gone. And he continues and says, I will be out and I will not be your friend anymore. I put my faith in you because I believe in you 100% from day one, and I defend the club because of that. So Pep's probably having internal talks with them. And if he finds out that they've been lying to him, I wouldn't be surprised if Pep goes, you know what, end of the season, I'm out. I've done what I had to do. I've given you my all. I gave you titles, and this is how you repay me. I'm gone.
Yeah,
I'm gone.
Yeah.
So we might see some crazy decisions. Obviously, the what's it called? The verdict hasn't been announced.
No, they're not guilty, by the way. Just want to let people know they're not guilty, but they have been charged.
But the independent commission has the power too. And these are all the points. The independent commission has the power to, number 1, suspend the club from playing league matches. Number 2, deduct points. Number 3, recommend to the board that league matches be replayed.
What? Bring it back, man. Can we bring our players back as well?
Number four, recommend to the board that the league expels the respondent club. Number 5, order compensation. Number 6, cancel or refuse registration of players. Number 7,
kill them. Yeah.
Number 7, conditional punishment. Number 8, order club to pay costs. And final point, make such other order as it thinks fit. So, in other words, for people that don't understand, because this is corporate language, the potential punishments awaiting Man City are ban on playing matches, points reductions, replay matches, expulsion from the Premier League, heavy fine, unregister some players, and any other sanction the Premier League deems appropriate. So the Premier League can do whatever they want. It's in their hands.
And UEFA can't get involved. Let me just read this.
Exactly,
Aaron,
because
one
this is a Premier League matter, not a UEFA matter.
That's what you have
Aaron,
to stress.
1 point, and I'm going to mute again. I
Yes.
don't want to fine because they've got all the.
Of course not, man.
Maybe they can find them $1 billion. I don't want that fine, so that needs to be taken out. They cannot be fined because they were fined before by UEFA, and they didn't.
And I think the Premier League will be sensible to take that away, Nuradin. I think they will look at it and
They will be.
If we just hit them with a fine, even if we say 10 billion, they can pay that tomorrow.
I'm hearing that they can't appeal as well, or is it? It depends.
Because this is a Premier League matter, they can't appeal. Like there's no option for Man City to appeal because
what about a court of arbitration? What about the court of arbitration of sport?
They can't do that. They just Man City basically just have to wait. They have to wait there like little kids and wait for their punishment.
And I just want to add one more key thing.
Yes,
they cannot obfuscate like they did with UEFA because the Premier League has no limit on the charges. How long do the investigation takes? How long when the punishment comes? UEFA 5 years. 5 years. Premier League they can't count a year. They can't wait. They can't do this. And the other big thing, what most people are gonna forget, the Premier League literally Saeed is the 20 teams who are in it. So it's the 20 teams who are saying this is what you are doing. So it's not just the body. That's why they're getting independent people as well. That's why. And you know what, Saeed? It all makes sense now. When Pep's lost the plateau, Pep's lost the plot. Saeed,
talking about mega buses and all that. He's talking about the travel from London to Manchester. Come on, mate.
Saeed, you need to go to my tweet that I posted yesterday with him smoking the shisha, where he's smoking the pipe. Go to it now. Go to it now because you know what? He doesn't only to have to change the pipe, but he has to change the supplier, mate, or whatever shisha they're smoking.
Yeah, let me just read these super chats. Sorry for obviously not reading the super chats here. Matt Ross says City recorded 20 million revenue in 2009. Does not add up. Do you guys feel Pep knew this was coming? Cancelo buying? What the F? Jesus, Sinchenko to Arsenal? You know, maybe, I don't know, raising the funds, does he mean?
Well, you do remember, Saeed, that the reason why Juve got deducted 15 points is because of that shadiness that they had going on. The swap deal between Arthur and Pjanic and the other swap deal between Danilo and Cancelo. So I think City might get involved in the sanctions with what Juve is currently going through. Do you know what I mean? So you've seen Juve. They did have the possibility to appeal, but they didn't do it because they knew they were in the wrong anyway. So they got deducted 15 points, and I'm hearing Pogba's injured again. That's crazy.
Crazy.
But I genuinely think this should happen because one, it would completely throw the Premier League open again, and two, it would send a warning to other teams that might be involved in dodgy things to be like, hey, listen, if you try this, this is what can happen to you. So, do you know what I mean? And I can't lie to you, it slightly changed my mind on who should be running the club in terms of new ownership. Because if we're going to have new owners come in, yes, pump money into the club, but financially, please do it within the rules as well. Like let's just not be fans and just want money to be thrown at every single player. Things have to be done within the financial rules. That's what I'm saying.
There's a difference though. There's a difference in terms of being able to kind of catch people and say, you know, we want to be bigger than Man United. We want to be the biggest football club in the world, or becoming a financial powerhouse that we are right now and becoming the biggest club in the world and then take it to another level. There's a two difference. There's actually wanting and crying out for to get to that level rather than a club an ownership who know we're at that level, but just need to kind of pump a little bit of money in and then get it to the next level. Do you see what I mean, Nuradin?
Yeah.
100%.
The difference.
The difference is this, Aaron, is simple. Manchester United, as I broke it down just before, of our global reach, Manchester United Football Club have a billion interactions with fans around the world, right? So what I'm trying to make, when Man United start winning again, the revenue records. Because Manchester United, I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry, City fans. I'm sorry, Liverpool
He's
fans.
there. He's there.
I'm sorry.
Steve's in the
We're
chat.
the biggest.
Hold on a minute.
We're the biggest.
Hey, big
Hold on,
Steve.
hold on a minute. Let's hear Steve. Let's hear Steve. Because Nuradin, you called him out. Let me hear Steve. He goes, Steve, let's hear what Steve said. He said, "You men are absolutely desperate. You've got no evidence and already talking bollocks. It's great to see little City. He's scared stiff."
Hey, Steve. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, Said. I'm not gonna lie to you. Listen, we want to ask Steve where he is because he knows where the City burned because they had to get the fans' help because there's only a couple of a minute to help them.
Listen,
They
Nuradin.
to burn the evidence and to bury some. I want to go around Steve's house and check his garden because I'm telling you, documents are buried in his
Now listen,
garden,
Steve.
mate.
Listen,
They're
Steve.
buried.
Steve, you should have known something is wrong with your club when you let a teenager, a Portuguese teenager, hack into your whole systems and reveal the secrets. You should have used all of that money to build firewalls, mate. You know what I'm saying? You should have used that money to build firewalls so that nobody can hack into your systems. If some random Portuguese fella can do it, bro, then there's a problem.
Aaron, do me a favor. Please, Aaron, do me a favor. Please pull up the Portuguese national anthem. We got to play it for Steve. Get the national anthem. Get the national anthem. I want to hear the national anthem.
Now, do you know what? He can ask Bernardo Silva.
Let me just get really super chats. Manindo, he says Todd Bowley burning documents as we speak. Listen, we want to see where this Chelsea guy next, because you're next, man.
This is going to hit them in 4 years. They'll be the same people that will hit in 4 years' time. Wait for it.
Yep. When you pray for Qatari and Saudi owners, this is the result, says Tiang Yang. Ronald Jacob says, Nuradin, you are goated for what you said. Ronaldo, who Nuradin is, but City said we would provide proof once and for all. But why didn't they do it in the first goal? Why were they saving evidence for? What were they saving evidence for? This again, it's this idea of transparency. Have Man City been transparent? Because I don't know why they were hiding Mancini's wages. I don't understand. Like, I don't know if it was for them to show it to the Premier League or not, but they weren't transparent. And this is an investigation that's been happening for a while, man. So it's not as if something that's happened overnight. Alien Tedo says, I'm getting Sean Goat League One vibes. Yo, man, listen, Sean Goat might have to come out of that Man City TV, mate. He might have to put the shirt back on, run it back, Sean Goat, man. Manchester Derby.
I've seen a picture of
Saeed, Aaron, can you give me a moment of silence, please?
Oh.
Viva Portugal!
Viva! He's put a super chat in here. Big up to TBG. He says, do you guys remember City stealing all Arsenal's best players at the start of the decade as well? There's no way to get out of this one. Big up to TBG. And then Big Steve has sent a super chat in. I don't know if I've missed it. What's he said?
Yeah. I can see it there.
1 second. He says here, pray City get relegated will be the first time you mugs have finished above us in 10 years. Listen, man, enjoy League One. You've got what you wanted now, Steve. You know, you're always talking about League One and this is where you came from. This is now, you've got your wish now. So there's no more excuses for you not to win the Champions League and that. You could just say, you know what, we're in League One and we don't have to win the Champions League. So it's crazy as well, like, that they've not won the Champions League and anything could happen now. You could be relegated, you could be back in League One, and you still haven't won it, man. It's crazy, isn't it? Funny old story, Steve, isn't it? But listen, I'm going to put up a picture here, and we want all our titles back. Steve, you must bring us all our titles back. We want the 11-12 one, the Aguero moment. We want that one as well. Liverpool will want their one, but listen, you know what I mean? Forget about Liverpool. We want the 17-18 season. Mourinho, Heritage, Paul Pogba. You know what I mean? He wants his trophy, man. And we want, man, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants his 2020-21 Premier League trophy. Aaron, we're having it, man. We're running it back, man. We want the trophies back.
Listen, the Thanos snap just became reality, bro. All of that's forgotten now. Do you know what I mean? The Aguero moment is gone. Pogba won us the title. You know that season when he finished top scorer, top assist, top everything. Yeah. Oli got himself a trophy as well. Nah, to be honest, I don't think they'll get stripped of their titles because, you know, that those things happen already. But you know, I
Mm.
think this, we'll see the sanctions that they'll get, but I think that they are going to happen. They
Can
are
I
going
just
to happen, and I think
can I just introduce somebody to you? We love you, Rui Pinto. We do.
is that his
We love
name?
Pinto. We do. We love you, Pinto. We do. Oh, Pinto, we love you.
Oh my days!
Oi,
Rui
it's
Pinto,
mad.
mate. Big up the Rui Pinto, mate. Big up the Rui Pinto.
Guys, there's 1.1k in here. Please smash a like on the video, man. If you want to see City relegated, smash a like on the video. You want to see City hand over their title, smash a like on the video. If you think City are finished, smash a like on the video, man. Listen, man, we're here, man. And like I said, Ten Hag, Aaron, he said it. Era's come to an end. Man City now all of a sudden. And then Liverpool as well. Liverpool, finito. Finito. Done
Wow,
out here.
wow. Yeah, man. Listen, he's it's like he knew. It's like Eric knew at the start of the season. Do you know what I mean? This isn't even about emails. You men don't even know.
Listen, we know
What
what's
you're talking
there,
about.
man, Steve. That's the main thing. We know what's there, and what's there is a lot of evidence, mate. Yeah. So unless you guys work on it and you speak to Khaldun and Barrick and start being open and transparent, mate, the evidence is mounting against you lot. So I would be spending less time on here, mate, Steve, and less time finding out the evidence and talking to Man City. Because I know you've worked with Man City, you know what I mean? Big up to the
Listen,
Steve on
Steve,
TV. But you know,
Steve, if I was you,
Yeah.
I'd be digging that garden up, getting rid of those documents, mate. I'm telling you, I know where you live, Steve. We know where you live. Get rid of the documents, mate. I'm telling you. Come before the
Oh
search.
my
comes.
days.
If
Big
we're-
Steve just reminds me when you won the treble, you City boys were not even relevant. City moving like the influencer who blocked the blue tick on Twitter and think he's relevant. Manchester is red. Yo, listen, hold tight to all the guys that got the blue ticks, man. You know what I'm saying? KDB Rodri as Bruno Casemiro backup for 20 million. Oh, you man are mocking it. You man are mocking it. Kadane Dixon says, I would be surprised if anything comes of this. Politicians are greedy. The brown envelopes fly. It's oil money. The thing is, though,
I kept saying
like I
that.
said, man,
I kept saying it. Saeed, all the time. What did I always say to him when talk about City and what they were doing? What do I always say
brown
to you?
envelopes.
Brown envelope, they're waiting to everything. So the proof is going to be in the pudding, Saeed. And like, you know what, hold tight in the chat, the people that were sharing the memes today. Everybody was talking, hold tight Andy Tate, by the way. I just saw you a couple of hours ago.
It's all part of the master plan.
Oh, yeah. So part of
Hey!
City, can't you see? Sometimes you fuck your FFFP. Oh, fucking
I'm
Biggie
dying,
will
I'm
roll that.
BIG lyrics, you know, BIG lyrics.
No, Andy, I absolutely love you, man.
You got
Oh
caught
my
with a
God.
You got to remake No Gallagher's master plan as well. You got to rewrite and sing that. If this is all true,
Don't
yeah,
look
it's all
back in
part of
anger.
the master plan.
That's it. Don't
Oh,
look back in anger, Steve. Steve, don't look back in anger, mate.
Slip
Get rid of
inside
it.
that brown envelope, innit? And you will find a load of wadded notes.
Don't look back in anger.
Oh.
You know what? Listen. They're not even in anger now. They're just going through the 5 process of grief. That's what they're doing. They're going through the 5 process of grief. So they're not going to anger yet. It's denial. The first one is denial, isn't it?
Denial, yeah.
That's what they are.
Maybe.
That's what I said. You know what? I sing it again. We love
Wow,
you,
that's
Pinto.
amazing, yo.
We do. We love you, Pinto. We do. Oh, Pinto, we love you. Listen, I'm telling you now, Pinto needs to get a key to the city. I'm gonna be lobbying the councillors, mate. Pinto, get him down here. Freedom of Manchester, mate, because Manchester's red.
You know how
Hold tight.
you know how City can start generating money? They can take all their statues outside the Etihad and start auctioning those statues. They might get a few. They might get a few quid
You
for
can
that.
melt them down for scrap. You can melt them down for scrap. You might get a better deal.
Oh,
Remember that
listen,
being a
listen.
band outside City, that big thing after the Commonwealth? Just like that. It's all shaky
Yeah.
now. Them statues, they're going to fall apart. Doink, doink.
Let me read
An
this
arm
super
falls
chat.
off Aguero. A leg
Let me read
falls
this
off
super chat here.
Cutner. And his head swells up that big and pops off.
It's like
Big
a
up to Adam
hovercraft. It's gonna fly away. It's gonna fly
Big up
away.
to-
mate. Fly away.
Yeah. Big up to Ajmal. It says Photo has been Pinto has been arrested and thrown in jail and stayed 1 year. He remained in custody. He sacrificed himself for this. City deserve punishment for sure.
I'm telling you
listen,
now,
man.
it's official. Saeed, it's
They'll
official.
get away with it,
We're
though.
starting.
They'll get away
Listen,
with
we're
it. They'll
starting.
get away with it.
Listen, we're gonna start. Free Pinto. Free
Wait,
Pinto.
is he
Free
still in jail?
Pinto. Free
Is he-
Pinto. Free.
Is Pinto still in jail?
No, I think he might be out. I think he might be
Okay.
out.
He might be
Listen,
out.
he's such an incredible hacker. You know who's going to work for? He's going to work for some Portuguese company or the government, mate.
And they'll pay him. They'll
That's
pay
what
him decent.
these hackers.
And
They
they'll give
turn
him.
them in it. They turn them.
Yeah, and they'll give him decent money as well. So he's good.
I've heard the Chinese are after him now. You know what I mean? He could be.
There you
He
go.
could be going
Yeah,
there.
there you go.
Chinese. Yeah, there might be a job of going there, navigate a balloon or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, all I'm
He's
saying,
already
to you,
released
listen,
it.
all I'm saying to you is that Todd Bowley, when the news dropped at 11, looked around, looked in the mirror, then looked down and saw his pants, mate. Saw his pants, and he had to change pants. That's what happened to Todd Bowley, mate. Listen, Todd Bowley was nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen at 11 o'clock. Soon as the news dropped, he looked at his phone. He had to go and change his pants. That's all I'm saying.
Chelsea are next.
Yeah,
Chelsea
definitely. That's
are
what we
next.
want. That's what we want, man. Chelsea are next, man. Big up to Kadane said points not enough. Take the titles back. And Aiden Tellers said, be careful, this don't lead to a Super League. Well, listen,
So
we're
who's
already
gonna
in
be
the Super League right now.
So who's going to be in the Super League, Alien Tenno? Stockport. And who else?
Mm.
Who else?
Exactly.
Who else is going to join from this country with Stockport? Who?
City were very willing to join us when we tried to fuck up English football, so they can't say anything. Very willing to join us.
Mm.
We
Yeah, it's
love you,
crazy, man.
Pinto. We do. We love you, Pinto. We do. Oh, Pinto, we love you. I can't wait to start singing that at OT, mate, on Wednesday. I'm singing that. I'm doing it.
Wednesday's going to be fun. Wednesday's going to be
He's
fun,
got
man.
the manager
Speaking
today
of,
as well. Absolutely unbelievable day, this.
Wait, what did he
Oh, yeah,
say? Because I think I missed the presser. What did
They sacked-
Eric say?
Listen, they sacked their manager in the Leeds today.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. I've
Bro,
seen it. Yeah.
I
And
knew
you
it was
know,
gonna happen,
who's
man.
you know who's going to replace Marsh for the next 2 games?
Who?
Our
Eric
ex,
said
our
number
ex-
2.
exactly.
That was the
Rangnick's
worst
ex
assistant
number 2.
manager ever, man. He was the worst assistant manager ever. Like
I've
him,
seen people. I've
I'd
seen
rather
people
take
calling.
care of McKenna.
I've
Is he
seen
the
people
one
calling
Ronaldo
the
stood
AirPod
up with,
merchant.
wasn't it? Something.
What
Yeah,
was his name?
yeah.
Chris, what's his name? Chris what? What's his name?
Chris Armas.
Chris Armas. We'll see you on Wednesday, fella. Ta-da! Ta-da!
I'm saying nothing. That new manager bounce. Look at Everton on Saturday. I'm saying
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I'm
That's true.
saying, man. It happened at the worst time, and we've had it before with Unai Emery.
Emery. Yeah.
Unai Emery
Emery.
came in, and
Yeah,
they just
but
started
Saeed,
running.
But Saeed, he's not the official manager. He's just a turkater till the next 2 games.
Yeah, for the next
Oh,
2 games, and I think I read today that they're after the West Brom manager. I forgot his name.
West Brom.
Apparently, he's doing a good job over there, so they're trying to get him in.
Yeah.
Who's that?
It's going to be time, but he's
What is it? Let me
already
research
part
his
of it.
name.
Yeah.
Let me research his name 1 second.
He's already part of it. By the way, don't forget, United Real Therapy have 6:35 people. We're going to be doing a preview to that. And
Yeah.
also talking about the Busby Babes. Good to see you there today, Andy. Good turnout.
Yeah, mate, I enjoyed it. It's quite emotional for everybody. And it's got. I eyeballed Harry Maguire. We clocked each other. It was mad. He clocked me. I clocked him. You know that Terminator style like that. For half a second, we clocked each other on the other side. You don't like me, pal. I don't like you. But respect today.
Yeah,
respect today as well. The
I
manager
found,
was
I found the
there.
guy's name. His name is the West Brom manager's name is Carlos Corberan.
Colbert.
Yeah. Is he a new manager? I've not seen him before. Who did they have before? that?
He
That's
managed.
Steve Bruce.
He
Steve
managed. No, he managed Olympiacos, Huddersfield, Leeds under 23,
That
and
was
a
it,
few other
Huddersfield.
clubs.
Huddersfield,
Yeah.
yeah. He managed Huddersfield.
Yeah,
No,
got
but-
to the
but
playoff
before that-
final last year.
Yeah. No, but before that, they had Steve Bruce as manager.
Yeah, they had
He might
Steve-
have been-
Yeah.
That's
You know what I mean?
it.
So I think for me it'll be difficult. But I think understandably, Leeds. That's what I'm saying. I was just waiting because I was watching the game against Nottingham Forest. They were poor, man. Like just toothless.
Yeah, they really were, man.
Very, very poor. They had
this is what-
possession. They were a
yeah.
better team, but you have to be able to do something up front, man. And they don't have that. And like I said, I don't know what the reaction will be, but we've got to be serious now. We've got to be on point because you know what I mean. We just have to keep going. We're the ones with momentum right now, Andy. And I think we just got to keep that focus now, game at a time, and keep going.
I know, keep this going, man. Because like you say, this is a big game. Second, am I in second place, man? We could be second by Sunday, and we just get this result done and out of the way. And like I say, John, if the incentive's there to like beat Leeds and go level with City.
Yeah.
All right, we'll play 2 games more. Then we're only 5 points behind Arsenal. Like I said this last night, I would rather have an experience, like I say, of a bit of a title race for 4 to 5 weeks.
Some shit getting spoken here, man. Some shit getting spoken here.
Yeah. We rattled it. We got him.
Hold tight 1 minute. Steve, listen, Steve, one question only. Have you got rid of the documents? Yes or no? Because I know that you and the rest of them were helping them out. Are the documents on your garden or not? Are they somewhere buried in the garden?
The lawyers have got the documents, mate. The lawyers have got the documents. Don't worry about us. Like I say, UEFA tried it. Everybody came in. You were guilty. You know what I mean? Remember, you all saying the same. Man City are guilty. You're going to get relegated. You're banned from the Champions League. And look what happened. Not guilty. So carry on with
the Premier League
guilty. But you're bringing up them emails. This isn't even part of that. I've just been reading the charges. Yeah, one of the charges is from 2010 that our grass was 2 mil bigger than the Premier League standard. So are we getting our trophy took off us for the grass? Yeah, the grass was 2 mil. So we'll take a fine for that. Apparently,
so you're saying to me
were paid through another source. Okay, so did Mancini's wages cause us to score 6 at Old Trafford, or did they cause Steven Gerrard to slip? No,
but
so
it's the getting the team. No, but it's getting the team, though, Steve. It's getting the powerhouse, the money that you've had. It's building it. It's not when you got to 6-1.
Guys are desperate, man.
Desperate.
You were desperate to get to where you are now.
Nah, I get the fact that you haven't finished above us for 10 years and you haven't won the league for a long time. I get that, yeah. I get that. But listen, you keep being as desperate as you want to be.
Can I ask you a question? My second question.
Nothing will happen. My
second question is simple. Explain to me why most of these companies want to sponsor Man City when your fan base is just around Stockport. Explain to me, please. Explain to me how you're making more money than Real Madrid, Barca.
I'll explain to you. Huh? You're going to let me answer?
And every other club.
Yeah, let him answer,
right.
Nuradin.
I'll explain to you. You clearly don't know business, right? If you're talking about why they would want a sponsor, yeah, Manchester City. Because Manchester City, yeah, I've just won the Premier League 4 out of 5, right? So when you've got a business, you want to be associated with winners. When Manchester United was winning the Premier League, a lot of companies wanted to be associated with Man United because they win the Premier League, right? One other thing that Manchester City do, we also own clubs on more or less every single continent, yeah? So when the Etihad deal was up for grabs, they give Etihad a market into India, into China, into Japan, into America, New York, all through different sponsorship deals. So if you're asking why people want to be associated with the fastest growing brand in the world, then that's stupid. You just answered your own question, innit? So it's irrelevant what goes on in Stockport. Where Stockport is only like 2 miles away from the Etihad. It isn't Singapore, because you're the pride of Singapore. But yeah, so that's why people want to be associated with winners, innit? If you win trophies, and you win these titles and that, people want to be associated with you. So I've answered your question.
Steve,
you know what? Will you listen? You know what? It's actually gone from brown envelopes to white envelopes, isn't it? White envelopes. White envelopes your way. Let me finish.
Is that a debt letter? Is that a debt letter in your hand?
You've white enveloped your way around, and you know what, lad? It caught up with you. And you know what? You know why we're the kings of Singapore? We're the
Do you want me to
listen.
get a
Well,
GoFundMe,
listen. Let
please,
me
for that
finish.
white letter in
We're the
diamonds?
kings of Timbuktu. We're the kings of Latin America. We're the kings of China and India. You know why we
Good.
are? Because we're Man United, mate. Man
Yeah, good.
City, who,
Yeah.
where, when, how? Listen,
Yeah.
if the
You're Man
sugar
United,
daddies
mate.
went
You've
here,
not finished
if the
above Man
sugar
City for
daddies
10
went,
years.
listen, you've dashed out brown envelopes, and then
Yeah.
the people got sock of them. You started dashing out white envelopes, and guess what now? It's become red envelopes because you're in the red, mate. You're in the red. Hold tight, every City fan that kept telling me, "Oh, we're big." You're big where? Where? Big where?
Hold on a
In the
minute.
East Lands,
Hold
mate.
on a minute.
That's
You
all
know
you're
what's,
big at, mate.
you
Down
know
here.
what's laughable?
Down here. Man United
what's
are global,
laughable?
mate. We're global. And
Are you
even if
gonna
we
let
don't win
anyone
another
speak? Are you
trophy,
gonna let anyone
even if we
speak?
don't win another
Are you
trophy,
gonna let anyone
ever,
speak?
we will have more trophies than
Who's
you.
rattled? Who's
We'll have
rattled,
more.
Saeed?
What? I'm
Saeed, who's
rattled.
rattled?
I'm
Who's
rattled.
rattled?
Listen,
Let me speak.
20,000
Let me speak.
empty. Are you fucking sure? The city is yours. The city
Wow.
is
Wow.
yours. 20,000
Wow.
empty
Oh my
seats.
God.
Wow.
Are you effing sure? And now,
Wow.
pants
Wow.
pull down. Pull
Wow.
down.
Speak a
Pull down.
question. Can I speak a question?
Wow.
Now let Steve come back. Let Steve come back before you go on.
Just let me answer the comeback.
Go-
Yeah.
go on, Steve.
He's talking about City being in the red. There's only one team in Manchester that's in the red, mate, and it ain't the Blues. So you're just making yourself look a fool.
Well,
So you
technically
need to
you are.
calm down, mate. You need to calm down. You're making himself look a fool. That was the most hilarious rant I've ever seen, and I'm going to clip that up, and that's going on every City channel, 100%.
That's more better than mine, with Moisey.
That is better than yours. Andy, that is better than yours. That is
Listen.
better than yours.
I broke it down before you come on here. We'll see. Because all of this was coming is because of the football regulator that's coming into football.
Good. Yeah,
And
good.
the Premier League are doing this now. Listen, you've had more charges than you got fans. I'm from Manchester, mate. I know. I used to live next door to Main
This
Road.
is the worst
You got
banter
more
I've ever heard in
fans.
my life.
You got more charges than fans. That was the meme that was going around today on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I say it again. We will
Great.
see. Because if you get charged, you know your pep, that Baldy,
Yeah.
he's going more than on a bike, mate. I'm telling you now, he's going on a scootering off, mate. Tata. And he's even said it. Why would a manager come out and say, if you know you're not guilty, if I have to trust these people if they're telling me the truth? I ask them, and if they lie to me, I'm gone. What? Tell me what professional setting in the world, what manager of a football club, Saeed, and has ever uttered those words? What? Because you know what? He's losing the plot. How he lost, how he's losing the plot. Now it all makes sense now. When it's like, I don't care about the Premier League. I don't care about the League Cup. I don't care. And then the
It's
girl
pretty
is
embarrassing,
like,
this.
Pep,
This is embarrassing,
listen, Pep,
this.
what's going on, Pep? And it's like,
This is embarrassing.
we want them to fight. I need the fans. I need everything. We need to fight. Well, you know what?
This is bad,
You went to Spursy and you get done by Spurs. You know how embarrassing you are to be associated with any team from the north? You are having a laugh, mate. You got done by a guy who's not even there, the guy who wears the wig. And he wasn't even turn up. He didn't even turn up, mate. He said to the assistant, it's only City. Go on, take care of them. You're letting those North Londoners take the piss out of you. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That's how much of history you've got, mate. That's how much legacy and class you are, mate. Man City have been found out, mate.
Did you just not get beat off Arsenal? Did you not get beat off Arsenal?
Everybody, listen to me. Everybody goes, mate. Everybody's gone. Look, you know when Arsenal came, when Arsenal come to Old Trafford, they get slapped up, mate. They get slapped up. Like your boys got slapped up 2 weeks ago, mate. You want to talk about that? Oh, Bruno, but the Bruno offside. Bruno what, mate? Rashford done you, mate. See, it's all falling apart.
Can I say something?
It's all falling apart.
Yeah, go on, Andy. Go on, Andy. Go on, Andy.
Steve, if this is true, allegedly, if they strip you of your titles, how would you feel about that? How would you
know what,
feel?
Andy? I'll be honest with you, mate. They ain't gonna. I've just been reading about it there. There's no titles being stripped. Look at the laws that apparently have been broken, yeah? The financial things about image rights, they're about Mancini's wages. These things that you're not getting title stripped for that. With the accounts have been done by Deloitte and everything. That's what they said. The City have come out tonight and said this will give us a chance, which we never had the chance proper to clear ourselves in CAS because they didn't want it UEFA. So we're going to come out and clear ourselves.
Well, look at Juventus.
Yeah,
Twice Juventus have been done.
but Juventus. Look at the charges that Juventus got. They're not the same charges of what we've
Yeah,
got.
okay.
Yeah, they're not the same charges. Yeah,
Totally
yeah.
Fair
different.
enough.
And like you say, I'm expecting a lot of it to get bad. There's 30 of them charges, and Manchester City failing to cooperate because we said we don't have to give you our books because we've not been charged with anything. So them 30 is getting dropped straight away because that's just about
You're right, then.
being
Fair
awkward.
enough.
That's just being awkward, yeah.
Listen,
So
that's a lie, and you know that's a lie. You know what that's called? Obfuscating. You knew the trick.
listen,
I'm
I'm not listening to a single word you said because you just waffled shit for about 10 minutes.
Listen, you know what? I know about this, Andy. Trust me.
You know
I've been
about
studying
fuck all,
it.
mate. You know
I've
about
been
fuck all.
studying this. I've been studying it. You gotta let me
study
finish my
fuck all,
piece.
mate, in your
Let me
bedroom.
say
Let's
my
say that.
word. Listen, 5-year limitation, Andy. You know UEFA, the investigation, 5-year limitation. So in that 5 years, City failed to comply. So they waited for the 5 year to pass. That's why they found them 10 million. You know, the Premier League, that ain't gonna happen. So we're gonna see if the Premier League have got their big boys pants on and they're gonna do what they say that's on the tin. Because no other football club in Premier League history has ever had 100 charges, fella. And I know that you're worried. That's why you're stressed. That's why you got your hand on your head. I know
Do I look
it's stressful time for you, mate. It's
Who's the one who
stressful.
looks
He
I
doesn't
know
look
it's
stressed.
stressful, mate.
Who the
I
one
He
who
know
looks
doesn't look stressed at all. Very cool and calm, Stevie. Look, yeah, mate. I'm telling you.
Right. Let's wrap this up, man.
Listen,
Let's wrap this up. You know what I mean?
Man City can not longer obfuscate. Premier League,
Listen,
we'll see. We will
Saeed,
see.
Let
We
me
will see.
speak, yeah. Let me speak.
Yeah, go on.
Look, it is what it is. It's came out. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not, I don't know the ins and outs of what's happening. We've seen all this before. The club was slated and pulled from pillar to post over the UEFA ones. It was naughty, right? We went to CAS and we cleared our name. Listen, there's going to be no points deductions. Even all fans want that. They won't even be that. There's going to be a fine if anything's found to be misinterpreted. But what happens if Manchester City are clear? All this nonsense people are speaking. What happens if Manchester City are innocent? You can't win because if we're found guilty, we're guilty. We take it on the chin. If we're found innocent, you all say we're innocent because we paid them off anyway. So they can't win. But at the end of the day, I'm a Manchester City football supporter. I support my team. I don't do the books. I don't claim to know the ins and outs of it. But all I'm saying is there's only one set of fans that are getting rattled in this chat, and it ain't me. You'd think Nuradin's team we're gonna get
You're hiding the pain.
relegated
You're
the way
hiding
it's
the
going
pain.
on. Do you know what I'm saying? We need to
Listen,
relax
if
a little
you
bit.
don't get found guilty, if you're innocent, I'll come on video. We'll do it again, and I'll apologize to all City fans and to Man City. But I know this because I follow this closely. UEFA, you got away with it. You were not found guilty because nobody who's never been found guilty pays 10 million. I've never heard of anybody ever.
What was we fined 10 million for?
being
Failing
innocent.
to comply. Because we said we shouldn't give them the books. That's okay. We got fined for not
What have
giving
you
the
got to
books
hide?
over. Because we
Steve,
thought we were being judged. We thought we were being judged illegally by them, so we didn't give them the books.
if you got nothing to hide, you know what? When you got nothing to hide, you know the financial fair play rules come in because they expect everybody in good nature, in good faith, all the football clubs to have people in the finances sorting out the finances in good and proper. And that's what you've not done. You obfuscated. You paid 10 million for obfuscating, right? For 5 years because it's time limit. Now, this has never been seen. What's happened today is unprecedented. And if I'm wrong, if everybody's wrong, if the Premier League's wrong, then they owe you the biggest apology.
No, do you know what will happen to the Premier League? Do you know what will happen to the Premier League? Manchester City will sue them for damaging the brand, and that's what will happen. So the Premier League need to be very, very careful because they have not got deeper pockets than these.
Steve said
that's why UEFA shit themselves. You can't slander a company. You can't slander a company and think and a brand, and then all of a sudden the brand gets proven innocent and think it goes away. It works both ways, so they need to be sure, man. Listen, I'll tell you, if Manchester City are found guilty, right, then if you're guilty in anything in life, if you're found guilty, you're guilty, and we'll take the punishment on the chin, and I'll come out and I will do a stream and say, look, this is bang out of order, and I want to know what's happened and why it's happened. But at the minute, like what everyone's saying, there's things going on at the minute, and at the end of the day, I trust Caldoon last time. Yeah, when everyone said we were guilty and we came out on top, yeah, and that was a damage to the brand. But this one, Caldoon's come out today and he's put the statement out and he said we look forward to putting this to bed. So I've got what kind of a City fan would I be if I'm not going to back my club? You'd back your club.
No, 100%.
Andy backs his
Oh,
club.
yeah, you're a true blue, mate. You're a true blue,
What
but
I'm saying
nobody
is, at
doubts
the end
that,
of the
mate.
day, fellas, I'm not doing any streams on this. I've jumped on because Saeed's me mate. I've jumped on I'm not doing any streams on it because I can't win it in any stream because a lot of people want us to get relegated. I get that. When Manchester United was winning every title, if this had come out about them, I'd have probably been the same and said, you know what, get them relegated. I get that. I do get it. But what I'm saying is, I'm in a position that of a Man City supporter, I can't win. So if I try and defend them, I'm defending cheats, even though we're not being found guilty. If we do get found not guilty, oh, you bribed them off. So I can't win. So all I'm saying on the matter is this. If they're found not guilty, yeah, then I expect apologies. If they're found guilty, I'll be the first one to come on any of your shows, and I will come on there and you can throw stones at me and do whatever you want.
So he knows I'm a man of my word. If City are found guilty, I will come in and apologise. But one thing I would say, I am no lover of the Glazers. I back Man United. I back the badge. I never back the people who own our football club and where they've taken to. 17 years I've not bought a shirt. So I don't back blindly my football club and the people who own us and people who damaged our brand.
But our owners have been great.
Let me finish. You said it. You said let me finish. Let me finish. Man City, your owners, if they've done this and if it's guilty, would you be coming out? Would you be Dubai out? That's the question.
I think if they get found guilty for that, then obviously anyone that's got Man City at heart don't want that in your club.
Don't want them there. Yeah. Facts.
Fair play.
Fair play.
If they did anything wrong with it, which was you wouldn't want that, and I think it'd be untenable for them then to be involved anyway. Yeah. But at the end of the day,
I don't want you relegated. By the way, I don't think relegation to me. I don't want you relegated. What I want is point deduction, mate. I don't want you to be fined the game. I don't want
Andy. You know Manchester City fans, if we're relegated, we'll sell it out every week because we seem to.
These two were babies when you were there, mate. They were little ones.
Let me read these super chat before we wrap up. Big up to SK says stripping titles only happens when there's match fixing or PED use. This is an overreaction, and I'm an Arsenal fan. And Ronald Jacob says, however, Little Steve, please tell me you are a social media influencer and you've worked hard to be where you are. If someone buys a blue tick and buys followers and thinks he's bigger than you, you think it's fair? Would you allow it? Obviously, he's just trying to, compare that moment.
Knows me. I don't care about that shit.
Listen,
there you go. Exactly.
We're
going to wrap it up here.
Listen, the only thing I would say, I think Arteta grasped because the league title is getting interesting. That's what has happened. I think Arteta grasped. That's what I think.
We've got more pressing things going on at the minute in the team. The team's not performing, so it is what it is. They're still throwing us out.
You will get a reaction Sunday against Villa.
I don't worry about the home games. There's just something missing. We shouldn't be getting beat off that Spurs team. We shouldn't be getting beat off Southampton in the Carabao Cup's quarterfinals. But it is what it is. Something's happening. So it's a mentality issue there at the minute. And I try and keep it positive for my fan base because I don't want to try and alarm anyone. But I've been to more or less every game, and there's something missing, and I can't put my finger on it at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Big up to Prem says, tell Big Steve the shark is coming. Obviously, Arsenal fan, Prem TV. But listen, we're going to wrap it up here. It's been a good show, people. Big up to Big Steve, you get me, showing his face and that, you know what I mean? He never hides away. So fair play to Steve.
I'm going to bail, man. I'm shooting. See you later.
No worries, man. Big up to Big Steve coming on. Big up to Andy. Thanks for coming on and jumping in, having your say, mate. Appreciate it.
That last 5 minutes was crazy.
Absolutely. And Nuradin with the hard facts. Yeah, exactly. Nuradin.
I got family who City fans, mate. So it's I don't even know how to approach him or what to say to him. So I'm not going to say anything. That's my father-in-law. I'm not going to say anything.
Andy, the difference is that when my family, when City win and in the derby they win, they come and harass me at my house. They bang the door down. That's the difference. That's why I've got a needle with City fans. I give it them. I take it when it's my turn, and I give it them, Saeed will tell you, half of my family are City fans.
Half of my family, yeah.
Listen, you know what? Half of my family are City fans, and you know what? An extra half are Liverpool fans. Imagine that. Imagine
you poor
Liverpool family
Oh, you poor sod. I can
You know what?
Liverpool. Oh my God.
And Andy, you know what?
need counselling, mate. You need counselling.
And Andy, you know what? You know what? This has been the best couple of days, the best couple of weeks, mate, I've had
Mate,
in a long time.
Ten
Oh,
Hag.
there's more to come, mate. There's more. There's shiny stuff on the way, mate. Don't you
Exactly.
fucking worry about that.
Listen, people.
Peace.
Big up to everybody who's been locked in, man. Shout out to Boohoo, man, for sponsoring the video. Make sure you go and get 40% off using the code Saeed. Use the scan the QR code or go in the link in the description below. It's been an amazing show. Please like the video, man. Guys, if I can ask for one thing, man.
We're going to continue this conversation. Join us, man.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
everyone's
United Real Therapy. Join us on that
I'll
channel.
watch you on the other side. I'll watch you on the other side.
Yeah,
Please
big
do
up,
it.
man. Appreciate the support. Love to everybody who's watched the show. Straightjacket podcast, man. Ten Hag said it. And he said it very well. He goes, I respect Liverpool and Man City, but eras come to an end. Take care. Bye.